Is your guitar buzzing, and when you touch the strings or the bridge or any other metal part, does the sound go away? Is this a weird hum that is super annoying, bothering you? Well, if that is the case, the answer is that you most likely have a grounding issue. Now, I'm going to show you how to check for a grounding issue without taking the strings or any screws off. This is a multimeter, and it has two prongs like this that you can put into different things and measure them. You use this to measure all sorts of things. For example, you can measure the values of your control knobs and for resistors, but it has something down here, usually in this corner right here, called the continuation mode. And if we pull it over there, we get a sound when they touch. And it's super important because you can test things and see if current is going to flow that way, if things are connected. The symbol looks sort of like a weird arrow and a little, almost like the sound coming out of a speaker thing. I'm going to show you a picture right here of the symbol so that you're not confused. And it's super easy to use the multimeter in this way. Whenever these touch, we have a sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but there it is. And so we put one of these on the ground connection. If you have a plate like this, you can put it anywhere on the plate. If you just have the output jack, you can put it directly on the ring of the output jack. And then we just need to start touching things. We can push it in underneath this tone pot, for example, so it touches the metal ring that is screwing it in, and hopefully you can hear that there is a sound. That means that they are ground connected. If I go to this one, all of these parts are connected. You check the tone and the volume, you check the switch, and you check the bridge. If there is no sound when you hold it to the tone, that means that there is no ground connection. Most likely the wire has been pulled off, broken off. The same thing goes with the volume. If you don't get a sound, that means that the ground wire on the volume has come loose. And the same thing goes for the switch here. If you don't hear a sound, you have to open it up and check the ground wire. And the same thing goes for the bridge. If you don't get a sound when you touch it, you can look at the back on a Strat and see if the claw, if there is a ground connection there, or you will have to open it up and check if the ground connection is connected to the back of the volume pot. Now, if you don't get any sound anywhere, you touch everything and there is no sound anywhere, but you still can hear sound when you play the guitar, most likely the connection is broken here. And the truth is, the most common points of breaking bridge to the volume pot and the output jack. And the reason is most people use the volume pot a lot. It can get loose in there and move around, and therefore wires can break off. And the output jack, you plug in and out, it moves, it gets loose, a wire there could break off. So that's what I would do. And again, if you hear a sound, it's good. If you don't hear a sound, something is wrong. And if everything seems like there is no sound, start off by checking the output jack right here. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below if it did. A last thing I want to point out is that there can also be a wire that is somewhat loose and not completely loose, and you only get static sometimes and sometimes not. So in the end, you might have to open up the guitar and check the wires and make sure things are where they're supposed to be. If this helped, let me know in the comments below, and I would appreciate a like. If this didn't help, there are two things I would say that you need to do. The first thing is to check if the wiring is correct. Compare it to pictures on Google, for example. The second thing would be to measure the values, for example, of your tone pot or volume pot, you might actually break the switch, because moving it around like that can eventually wear it out. So sometimes you can't find out what is wrong, and that's when parts needs to be replaced. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below if it did. And until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and buy yourself a multimeter, because if you don't have one, it's the most useful tool for all these sort of things. It's such a good tool to have. You need one. They're not that expensive. Go and buy one.